King is giving us the sports news, while Amandla Babili is giving us interpretation in sign language. Shall we start with the headlines? The Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres, stands in support of African countries' call for justice from slavery trade and colonial exploitation. BOTSWANA Oil continues to promote citizen involvement in the petroleum sector.
And the men's game against DRC in the Women Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers to help them prepare for WAFCON 2024.
We're live from Gaborone, the capital. Let's go into our top story. The Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres, stands in support of African countries' call for justice from slavery trade and colonial exploitation. Guterres said this at the opening of the African Union in Ethiopia, where President Advocate Boko is in attendance. He acknowledged that decolonization did not entirely free African countries. Monica Setswaila compiled the report.
The AU summit currently underway in Ethiopia comes at a time when African countries now seek to address the historical injustices faced by Africa and people of African descent. The Secretary General Guterres said the injustices continue to hinder the growth of the African continent.
Political independence did not free countries from structures based on exploitation and decades of economic, social, and institutional underinvestment. It is high time for reparatory justice frameworks to be put in place. Second, Africa was under colonial domination when today's multilateral system was created, and that injustice endures. Look no further than the United Nations Security Council.
Africa, which is home to over 1.5 billion people, has the potential to grow beyond its challenges, which includes issues of governance and a sluggish growth in the economy.
I will keep working with the African Union and all member states to ensure the representation Africa needs and the justice you deserve, including with 2 permanent members of the Security Council. And we will keep pressing together for an international financial architecture that is no longer outdated, dysfunctional, and unfair.
In a world marked by rapid change and multiple challenges, we find ourselves at the crossroads of uncertainty and opportunity. This moment calls upon us to strengthen our collective resolve, embrace resilience, and foster unity across Africa.
I stand here as the proud chairman of CARICOM, the Caribbean community, recognizing that as a member of the 6th region of Africa, we have come to reclaim our Atlantic destiny. We have come to ensure that the very futures of our people are different and will not once again be determined by a middleman who will ensure that the Middle Passage is one that sees our people at the bottom of the ocean's floor of the Atlantic or in the fields of the plantations of the Caribbean, that it will be a future that sees our people, hears our people, feels our people.
Conversations tabled during the AU summit will go a long way towards ensuring peace, stability, and prosperity for Africa and its people. Monica Setswaila, BTV News.
President Advocate Boko delivered his maiden speech at the 38th AU Ordinary Assembly. Together with his counterparts from Liberia and Senegal, the new leaders were given an opportunity to address the Assembly. The President shared the rare story of a peaceful transfer of power in Africa between his umbrella for democratic change and the BDP, which ruled for nearly 6 decades.
Next day, still a long way from the end, the incumbent president called me again and said to me, the picture has now emerged. I will concede. I want you to know. And that was a day before the final outcome of the election would become evident. And on the morning of the next day, still before the outcome was declared, he addressed a press conference and conceded. In the afternoon, the outcome was declared. I'm raising these things not for self-adulation or to seek approbation, although the approbation would be well deserved. I'm raising these issues in order to demonstrate that democracy does exist on the African continent and we can be exemplars of it.
Meanwhile, at the 46th African Union General Assembly, Ghana President John Mahama has described the transatlantic slave trade as one of the most heinous crimes against humanity. Mahama emphasized the importance of not only acknowledging the crimes but also being truthful about the crimes. He noted the need for atonement for the historic atrocities.
Your Excellency, the work ahead requires a unified voice, a clear strategy, and unyielding commitment. Today, we reaffirm our commitment to working together to develop policies and frameworks that will support reparations efforts across Africa and beyond. We must continue to advocate for stronger legal and institutional mechanisms at the national, regional, and international levels to ensure that reparatory justice for the historical trauma inflicted on global Africa is not just a conversation, but a reality.
Now, still with the AU, Djibouti Minister for Foreign Affairs, Mohammed Ali Yusuf, has been voted as AU Commission chairperson. He was voted in a secret ballot during the ongoing General Assembly in Ethiopia. Moving on, in his historic appearance at the AU Assembly on the sidelines of the summit, President Boko met founder of Dangote, Mr. Aliko Dangote, to explore business opportunities that can boost the country's economy. This is in alignment with his government's ambitious agenda to transform the economy by attracting foreign direct investment and by courting investors. The leader of Africa's indigenous conglomerate, Dangote Group, joined African Export-Import Bank, Afreximbank, Bank as a shareholder in 2016. Thank you for staying with us. We're live from Gaborone, the capital. We continue with our news. Now, in the quest to grow Botswana's economy and promote citizen involvement in the petroleum sector, as per the import mandate, Botswana Oil Limited is currently in access of 134 trucks from 39 citizen-owned companies. The Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Meshach Tsekedi, says Botswana Oil Limited's role in fuel importation is a strategic move to enhance Botswana's economy. This was said in a media briefing in Gaborone on Thursday. Horata Morangani has more.
Fuel importation is a critical component of global energy markets and plays a significant role in the economies of many nations. Botswana, currently importing 1.3 billion litres of fuel annually through Botswana Oil Limited, has made remarkable strides in fuel importation, prioritizing citizen empowerment and local participation.
As I speak to you now, 10 years later or 11 years later, but precisely 11 months in the implementation of the import mandate, we are in excess of 134 trucks in the sector from 29 companies and still growing. If we move to the next slide. So the total consumption for the country is around 1.3 billion litres per annum, which equates to around 110 million litres per month. Botswana Oil plays the primary role of importing fuel and then supplying oil marketing companies, which are the international oil companies and some of the citizen-owned oil companies. So the key business for Botswana Oil is not the sale of fuel, and we do not make much business in the sale of fuel. Our core primary business, and we make business in the importation of fuel. I think that's the key distinction between us and other players in the market.
Botswana Oil Limited has significantly increased its allocation of citizen-owned transporters in the 2024-2025 financial year.
We have 110.2 that was spent on citizen companies in the sector. And we are forecasting at the spend rate and at the rate that we are bringing product, that by the end of this financial year, we would have spent more than we spent in the past 4 years collectively, at 680 million, and 174.7 million, also exceeding that number from the 4 years, would have been spent on citizens, on citizen transporters.
As the company continues to expand its operations, it promises to bring even more opportunities for Botswana, an initiative that aligns with Botswana's broader vision of reducing reliance on foreign companies and fostering homegrown enterprises. Khorata Moranyani, BTV News, Gaborone.
In a bid to address the critical shortage of blood in the country, the acting Minister of Health, Mr. Lawrence Okeditse, rolled up his sleeve and donated blood. This act is part of the nationwide campaign to encourage Botswana to step forward and contribute to the National Blood Bank, which is currently facing a significant decline in donations. Botswana needs 45,000 units of blood annually, but only reaches a little over half of the total target. And Paul Kelebore compiles the report.
During the annual dry blood donation campaigns, the acting Minister of Health, Mr. Lawrence Okeditse, was at the forefront of the campaign by donating blood to highlight the urgent need for more blood. Botswana requires 45,000 units of blood annually to meet the demand for medical procedures, emergencies, and chronic conditions.
They are our blood donors because they are quite important. Without you and your generous support, we wouldn't be able to do this. It is through you that we are able to literally save lives. Generosity comes in different ways. People give in various ways. But one of the most generous and one of the most important gifts you can give to your nation, to your family, to your community, and even to yourself, is to donate blood as you would be doing.
Across the country, blood donation campaigns make it easier for citizens to donate, as health official has emphasized that the process is safe, quick and painless, and each donation can have a profound impact on someone's life.
Over the last 10 years, we've been holding this kind of event, just doing, encouraging blood donation. And we are happy that we have been able to sustain and receive support from the public. We stand at the heart of the traffic movement in Gaborone, and a lot of people pass through this mall, so we thought we should use that opportunity to make sure that we encourage people to come and donate.
You might not donate only yourself, but by taking the message to the next person, know that you have also donated. Assist us, take the message in different languages to our people so that they can reach us. Honorable, we are in a drive of making sure that every DHMT we have a blood donation center.
Despite National Blood Transfusion Service using outreach programs and platforms such as the media and community visits, Botswana still experiences a shortage of blood donors, hence the need for continuous campaigns. Paul Kelebore, Botswana Television, Gaborone.
In more news, the global commemoration of Radio Day brought a major transformation to the northern region as the Ministry of Communications and Innovation, together with the Botswana Communications Regulatory Authority, launched a broadcasting transmission site in Tsesebe yesterday. Through Boko and the Universal Access and Service Fund, the installation of transmitters in Totome, Sekakangwe and Tsesebe will provide coverage to over 85,000 residents of the region. The Minister of Communications and Innovation, Mr. David Tsere, emphasized the importance of radio, stating that it plays a critical role in communication, education and public awareness. Kidibongele Kalake reports.
World Radio Day, observed annually on February 13th, highlights the enduring relevance of radio in connecting communities and fostering innovation. This year, Botswana has taken a giant leap forward with the inauguration of the Tsebe Broadcasting Transmission Site. Located in the Northeast District, this facility is set to revolutionize communication in the region, bridging the gap between remote communities and the rest of the country.
I am encouraged by the continued support by BOKRA through the Universal Access Service Fund to grow the footprints of commercial broadcasting through installing the shared FM transmitters. As I speak today, the collaboration between BOKRA and the fund has facilitated installations of transmitters at Tutume, Sekakangwe, and here in Tsebe.
With the development brought by the new transmission, commercial radio stations are urged to help keep the revenue circulating within Botswana, ultimately benefiting local artists and the economy.
Se se botlhokwa se ke tla se kopang thata mo go lona ke gore e re lentse le tsa ditiseletso tse le dirise ditlhamo tsa Botswana.
I request that you use local innovation and play local music so that the money generated from those may benefit the locals.
Gore madia a hiwang mo go tsone di romamwatse a tla a nne mo Botswana a se ka ya go ntle.
For the leadership of Tsebe and surrounding villages, the transmission site is more than just a technological achievement, it is a lifeline. Many here rely on radio as their primary source of news, entertainment and information. With improved signal strength and clarity, the community can now stay better informed and connected.
Ke batla ke rotloetse our radio stations gore aba leke ba nne ba ile gore ba me
I would like to encourage radio stations to engage diverse languages to ease understanding of information.
Like I said, any other language, it's like a more to Tatahore, but I can go to Kalon
People were urged to safeguard the resources that the government brings to their regions so that the future generations can benefit from them. Kidibongele Kalake, BTV News, Tsebe.
Now, in an effort to shape policies aimed at promoting food security, reducing poverty and enhancing sustainable agricultural development, Statistics Botswana, in collaboration with the Ministry of Lands and Agriculture, will kickstart agricultural census data countrywide, effective from next week until December this year. It will be conducted from traditional and commercial agricultural farmers. This was indicated by the acting Deputy CEO of Statistics Botswana, Ms. Ketso Kumalo, during a press briefing yesterday in Gaborone. Mujari Mukibelo has more.
Agriculture remains a vital sector for many Botswana, particularly in rural communities where it is a primary source of food, income and employment. And in achieving this mandate, exercises such as the 2025 agricultural census comes at an opportune time in fostering high-value agriculture as well as farm labor dynamics.
The 2025 agricultural census will commence on the 21st February and continue until December 2025. Data collection will be conducted in two phases. The first phase, covering the traditional agricultural sector, will run from February to November 2025, while the second phase, focusing on the commercial agricultural sector, will be conducted from June to December 2025. Notably, this will be Botswana's first digital agricultural census, leveraging automated data collection to enhance efficiency and reduce the time between data collection and dissemination.
In undertaking this census, Statistics Botswana, in partnership with Ministry of Lands and Agriculture, intends to provide insights into agricultural farming practices, amongst others.
Members of the media here present, it is empirical to note that the data that is going to be collected will be of significance in shaping and setting goals for the new Botswana under the new administration. It is worth noting that together as a team, Ministry of Land and Agriculture and Statistics Botswana, in preparation for this coming exercise, have undertaken district consultations across the country, which commenced last year, September 2024.
The 2025 agricultural census further generate new baseline data at district and national levels for evidence-based policy making by government and stakeholders, including farmers, ranchers, and researchers. Mojadi Mukibelo, BTV News, Gaborone.
Well, that rounds it up. We now proceed to sports with Liza Sekeng. She's ready to serve you.
Thank you so much, Khomotseho. Good evening. I am Liza Sekeng with your World of Sport. And in our leading story, Francistown-based Tafik FC defeated BDF 11 1-0 in their Week 20 of the FNB Premiership encounter played at Royal Area Stadium this afternoon. Butile Kebaikanya scored the solitary goal 33 minutes into the second half to put Tafik top of the log standings with 40 points. And this is how the game unfolded.
Nkwapa onale destino Batatio Shadikong Tadiran Shadi Tanakala boxali tini Shadi bakaja sengwe ha bona khwele abasirele tsa khomorago mo ketse mo gomotsi kana mo gotsi tota Gago Patla motho ba tsala jalo mo gomotsi ngwane ba romela kopele Taunyane o dule Taunyane abasirele tsa Sireleta Thabo Tambe Arabona Shadi wa go tlola mola gare Shadikong patla motho a ba tshela ka botlhale mo tselentšano ya ga retsang wa go dira retsang o romela mo karolong e kotsi go godimo ga kota wa go batla thuso jalo ka go setshego Roni o batla motho a ba re Taunyane a youth a ba tlogalla Roni gape bona Roni e be kita kota Gago a ba sireletsa Thabo Dambe ana ba tlhokile lesego BDF 11 bana ba ya gile bontlentele pelelo epe
ikeno le gore ntsa tshameka the right back position
ba ya kopele a ba tsoma dikoteng wa tlarela wa tlogela ba ka ja go sengwe fa ana khele ba go tshela kwa morago la gale tsala pelo ke ba ikanye Butile a ba ta tshotse monato go tsa go bankeng e Machiminyenga ana About ga mosumo wa letlo wa mogotsi wash go ka dira jalo ya ntlha e ka Songo Traffic Football Club ka lotola molema a Butile ke ba ikanye netefatsa jalo gore ba getwe febula se ba tša monate. It's a beautiful goal Benadi Mutle.
I think the problem I think is there is lack of concentration laps at the end how has it how defender so and then the way they are playing beautiful football and then so one day we'll catch up.
Weather conditions affected the play. Both sides opted for long balls, and it made it very difficult for my players. We are small in stature, but we managed to hang in there. We kept their striker, lone striker, who is very quick, who is very dangerous, and we kept him at bay. And I'm very pleased the way we defended today.
Now, in other FNB Premiership Week 20 matches played today, Extension Gunners walloped Orapa United by 2-1 at Itikeng Stadium. Murubula Wanderers denied Township Rollers a top spot after defeating them by 3-1 at Palape Stadium, while Matebela also beat Unao Flamingo Santos by 3-1. Now, the senior women's national football team coach, Alex Maleti, says their Women Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers game against the Democratic Republic of Congo next week came at the right time, as they will also use it to prepare for WAFCON 2024, slated for Morocco in July. Victoria Dakin has the report for us.
Malete said they are not under any pressure to prepare for the two competitions, adding that preparations are going well and the players are ready to compete.
Remember, this is our second camp. We had our first camp in January where we did the assessment, basically to establish the baseline in terms of fitness, to see where our players are. And they were not where we want them to be. So we'll use the results to ensure that we achieve peak performance in July when we play WAFCON 2024. But for this game, in terms of fitness, we will not be where we want to be. But for sure, we'll come up with a way of playing that will ensure that we get desired results.
The Mayor's head coach also noted that this time around they managed to beef up the squad with players who play outside the country.
Esalen Nagale Kutli was the first to arrive, and then Masaron Fandiso. Today, Buitumelo Ramu is joining us, and Lesoro Moing. Tomorrow we'll have Mokawatanda, and then next week, Monday, our Turkey-based players will join us, Lona Raufeto, Rekitumezi Ditebe. With the exception of Esalen Nagale Kutli and Masaron Fandiso, they are the only ones who didn't play enough games with us last year, mainly because of their academic calendar. But we are happy that they are here now. They will add the experience that we need.
The team started camp on the 2nd of this month, and some of the players said they are happy with the preparation so far and promise to do their best to do well.
So far, so good with preparations. It's been of high intensity. We've been working day in and out, and we're hoping to get proper results from our training. And Marelo Gordu Mahela Tata, and I think the girls are ready for a fight.
The Maize will face DR Congo in the first leg of the WAFCON 2026 qualifiers on the 28th of this month at Obed Itani Chilume Stadium at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. The second leg of the game will be played on the 26th of this month in Kinshasa, with the winner of the tie scheduled to play South Africa's Banyana Banyana in October. Victoria Dakin, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
And finally, in a BOTSWANA First Division South League Week 11 clash played at BPSC Stadium in Gaborone yesterday, City Polar secured a narrow 1-0 victory over UB Hawks through a second-half strike by Thapelo Jacob. The result marked City Polar's third win of the season. Kagiso Malelekwa.
Both teams ended Friday's match aiming to secure maximum points to boost their standings on the league table. The home side UB Hawks came into the clash sitting 8th on the table with 11 points, while City Polar occupied 9th place with 10 points. Despite scarlet rain showers, both teams started the game on a high note, launching numerous attacks against each other. However, solid defending from both sides kept the scoreline level and the halftime ended goalless. After the break, the teams continued with their free-flowing attacking style of play. However, it was City Polar under coach Nelson Ulibile who seemed to execute their game plan more effectively. Thapelo Jacob broke the deadlock with just 10 minutes remaining in the regulation time. His decisive goal ensured City Polar worked away with much-needed 3 points.
We had a very pretty good game, but just that maybe our mistakes, we did have a mistake there. But we tried to play the ball more from the back from the first half, but we had seen that the pitch is not good, so we opted to try. We had to tweak a little bit into our formation that maybe we should try be direct because the pitch is not favoring us in terms of playing from the back. But yeah, it's one of those games where you dominate the game and then at the end you lose.
Both first half and second half, I think we really missed. Yeah, sometimes it's the nature of the game whereby you create more and you only score one. But one would not complain because obviously you got the point that you wanted. But I think, yeah, tough luck to UB Hawks, but they really gave their best in terms of defending, even though at one stage I believe we could have done much better. But I believe second half was much an improved game performance from our side, especially looking at we addressed mostly the mental strength because the way we applied ourselves first half was not on. But on recess we said, gentlemen, let's apply ourselves effectively so that we are able to punish these guys, especially that they were trying to build it. First 15 minutes, they were trying to build from the back, but obviously we needed to press them from high so that we were able to create break attacks, which I think we did.
Following Friday's result, City Polar moved up to 8th place in the standings with 13 points, while UB Hawks dropped to 9th with 11 points. Kariso Molelekwa, PTV Sport, Gaborone.
Well, that is it for sport this evening. We now take a look at stories making headlines.
The Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres, stands in support of African countries' call for justice from slavery trade and colonial exploitation. BOTSWANA Oil continues to promote citizen involvement in the petroleum sector.
And the men's game against DRC in the Women Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers will help them prepare for WAFCON 2024.
Well, we've now come to the end of our news bulletin for this hour. However, stand by for the weather update. Good night.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's weather forecast brought to you by Elite. Let's take a look at the rainfall amount recorded this morning. Mogapinyana Primary School 125 millimeters, Musu Primary School 56 millimeters, Mogoditsani Police 35 millimeters, Botshabelo Police 28 millimeters. Raditladi Primary School 26 millimeters, Tini Primary School 22 millimeters, Borwa Junior Secondary School 20 millimeters, Lokwem Border 19 millimeters. Letsebe Primary School 18 millimeters, Maposa Primary School 16 millimeters, Makobo Primary School 14 millimeters, Nkange Primary School 12 millimeters. Manduingani Primary School recorded 12 millimeters as well. Dugwip Junior Secondary School 9 millimeters, Moroka Primary School 8 millimeters, Mokolodi Primary School recorded 6 millimeters. Other areas recorded less than 6 millimeters. Looking at the current satellite image, cloudy conditions are visible over most parts of the country. Tomorrow, expecting cloudy conditions over the entire country with possibility of widespread thundershowers over Ganse, Kgalagadi, southern southeast, Katling, and Kwening. Over Ngamiland, we're expecting fairly widespread thundershowers. The whole of central, northeast, and Chobe district, we're expecting scattered thundershowers. Therefore, the public is advised to take necessary precautions as this expected rains may cause flash flooding over most parts of the country. In the morning, we're expecting hot temperatures over the entire country between 20 and 21 degrees Celsius. In the afternoon, we're expecting cold temperatures over southern southeast, Katling, and Kwening between 20 and 22 degrees Celsius. Ngamiland and Chobe district are expecting warm temperatures between 27 and 28 degrees Celsius. Over the remaining areas, we're expecting mild temperatures ranging between 24 and 26 degrees Celsius. As for the Sadek region, we're expecting patches of clouds over Kwebera with 28 degrees Celsius. Thunderstorms expected over Maseru with 24 degrees Celsius. Manzini expecting showers with 25 degrees Celsius. Antananarivo and Lusaka expecting thunderstorms with 27 degrees Celsius over Lusaka and 24 degrees Celsius over Antananarivo. Beira and Harare expecting showers with 30 degrees Celsius over Beira and 24 degrees Celsius over Harare. Dar es Salaam expecting patches of clouds with 35 degrees Celsius. Well over Blantyre expecting thunderstorms with 25 degrees Celsius. That's the weather forecast. Good night.
Coming up in this edition of Eye on SADC, diplomats hail Nyoma with tributes. Zambia's President Hichilema honors the legacy of